The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, and Newey Scruggs.
Here we are, Players Lounge on a Victory Friday. Yes. You know the crew.
Got the game on.
Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, Barry Church,
Yes,
Newey
sir.
Scruggs. The Cowboys, 9.5-point favorites, and this game was a 41-35 Cowboys win. It
stats right there.
was a close game with the Cowboys down in the fourth quarter. Coming back, so they were down 28-27 after 3 in the fourth quarter. Seattle scored to make it 35-27. Dak Prescott and the crew with 14 points to close the show. All right, gentlemen, I'll start with you, Danny McCray. Run around the table here.
What's happening?
Give me your first impressions of this victory.
This is one of the victories that we have been talking about we needed, where we're behind, right? and the pass rush is not that big of a thing, and Dak and our offense has to find a way when the defense isn't as good as they have been to make something happen. And then we had a chance to see it. Like you just said, they were down. They had to come back. Dak took it on his shoulders, made it happen. They also showed up as a physical team. I'm looking at Ferguson. I'm looking at Dak with the flex on him.
You see TP falling forward.
I seen TP. So for me, this is one of those games where I was like, hey, you know what? Right now we look like a finesse team, and when we play against physical teams, we haven't been able to be as physical. This right here showed that we do have the potential to be physical as any other team in the league.
Heckma Harrison.
On one side of the ball. On one side of the ball. Yeah, we matched intensity. Everything you just said, and I agree with the fact that we needed that test. We need to have somebody come in here and test our metal, especially our offensive line. I think they did I wouldn't say phenomenal job, but a good enough job against a defensive front that gave them all sorts of pressure and problems internally. Tyler Biadasz was one of those names that I came away with saying, hey, man, we got to be better at that position, especially if we want to get to the next level. But offensively, man, it was Dak for me. It was Dak. It was all the people that said that he had to have one of these types of wins. He had to play against an opponent that tested him. And I think Brandon Cooks, to me, is that guy in this offense that can really open up everything for everybody. Because no matter how you play the Cowboys, cover 4, whatever it is, or just straight up double team CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks is going to have his opportunity to expose you. And, man, I've been talking about my tight end for a long time. And I've been waiting on him. And I've been waiting on him to have one of these kinds of games. But I think Jake Ferguson also showed you that, man, he can be one of those dudes that can hog the middle of the field. And if you put him one-on-one with a safety, Jamal Adams, my man, you burnt today.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I loved it, man. I loved everything about the victory.
Nah, when I look at this, man, to me, it boiled down to two things. One, Dak Prescott, once again, put it on his shoulders and had possibly his best performance as a Cowboy to date, man. If you look at what he was able to do out there, fighting guys off of him, scrambling for extra yards, finding the open receiver. I mean, he did it all. He did it all out there. And another thing that came to mind is I got to give credit where credit is due, man. Mike McCarthy, he's a hell of a play caller. I'll give it to him right now. He's a hell of a play caller when you look at it, man. Because, like I always say, man, when I see you on tape, I see what I see and I say what I see. That man right there put on the clinic when you talk about creativity and getting your number one guy involved, which is CeeDee Lamb. Whether it's reverses, lining them up in the slot, short, intermediate. I mean, He was able to dial it all up, and Dak was able to go out there and execute the game plan almost flawlessly out there. So those are the two things that stood out to me. I'm sure we'll talk about this defense because but when you talk about an offensive performance out there, Dak stood on everything, and McCarthy drew it all up. And, hey, what can I say? They had almost a virtuoso out there.
Reverend Barry Church singing the gospel.
That's the plate.
Reading from
he
the
did his thing.
Hey, baby got some more
He did his
sugar in
thing.
there,
He did his
baby.
thing. Man. He did his thing. He did his thing, man.
Is he good for the season now?
Who's
Is he
talking
good? Mike McCarthy.
Nah, man.
It's
Come on,
just
we
up to this.
he did his thing.
He's
He
a
did his
play
thing.
caller, bro.
But
He's
we gotta let it play out.
Okay.
Right? We gotta let it.
Oh, now you trying to take
We gotta let it play out, right?
Now you do it.
We gotta let it play out, right? But he did his
I got
thing.
laughed.
there.
I said it. I got laughed at.
Gotta let it play out.
like
But
how
he
it's
did his
playing.
thing, there, man. He
I
ain't
don't.
no
I don't
complaints.
agree. I think he's
did his
he's
thing.
been in the lab. It is obvious he's been in there. So shout out to Big Mike.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right. This is Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos. You keep that pen, take them notes on how good McCarthy's been. Go ahead. I like it. It's all good. It's all good. This game, to me, I'm just going to echo what you guys. This was about Dak Prescott having to carry everybody because the defense was getting business. Okay, Seattle came to it. They were laying the business, and you needed to score. And you had to keep on scoring. You had to keep on going. I go in the fourth quarter. You're down at this point 35-17. Cowboys get the ball back. They go 6 plays, 56 yards. They get the field goal. And then after that, there was the 4th and 1 that the Seahawks did not get. So Cowboys get the ball. You got to go and do some business here. And Dak Prescott takes him down the field. That's when Jay Ferg went ahead and caught that right over Jamal Adams after they've been
talking
beefing.
that noise, too. He was talking that noise.
Both of them. I love to see it.
Yeah.
I love to see it.
He ain't back down.
Nah.
He ain't back down.
So you get the touchdown, and then you get the 2-point conversion to Cooks is what you needed right there. And then Seattle gets the ball one more time. Here looking at the fourth quarter stat sheet. Once again, stopped on a 4th down, 4th and 3 from the Seattle 14. I mean, they where were they out here? Seattle went 4th and 4, and that was the Geno Smith incomplete pass to Jackson Smith and Jigba, the kid from DFW. So Cowboys get the ball, they go down the field, they get themselves on a 4th and 3, a Brandon Aubrey field goal. Then Seattle's got the ball back here with 1:43 to go. They can't get it done. Cowboys lose. For the critics out there who were like, Dak can't beat. Dak and the Cowboys had beat a team with a winning record. Here's a winning record. Here's a good football team. We saw. I mean, regardless of what happens, that is a good football team.
They is.
Okay, they ain't going to Super Bowl. But like I said, but hey, go ahead and own that. I'll own that.
You whispered that though.
Yeah, I did. I did. Ain't no doubt. I whispered it. Both teams.
They still alive though. Duval's still alive, man.
But that was a quality win, and I don't know how you felt. I'll start with you, Heck. How'd you feel about McCarthy after saying we needed this kind of football game?
Now, I think as a coach, he has his hand on the pulse of his team. He knows that they needed to be tested, especially when you come up against 3 games, 12 days. Some of those opposition that you came up against was not quality. I'm admitting that, especially Commanders. So you got an opportunity to test some of the things that you've been scouting in your playbook to see if it worked, and you got a chance to go out there and test that versus teams like this. But you wanted to see what they did when they got hit in the mouth. And they got hit in the mouth in this game. You look at the end of the first half, going into the second half, Seattle took that split. They came out of halftime, they scored on you. Okay?
They double-dipped.
At that point, it made it look like, man, we might be in a little bit of trouble here at home. And then the defense and the offense had to get a stop. The offense had to respond. And like I said, I just feel like for this whole season, Mike McCarthy has had his hand on the pulse of this team. He's made all the right decisions with these guys as far as, giving them the rest that they've needed. Tyron Smith, the decision to say, hey, man, you don't need to practice during the week. Yep. All we need you to do is come out and play. And what has he done? He's come out and he's responded and he's made the moves. Like, he looks like old school 77 to me, right? And Tony Pollard, a guy that we've been talking about finishing runs, being able to be a guy that's a possession, like he's moving the chains. You see him doing that. All right, finishing runs, and also the way that they've been using Rico Dowdle. Man, I have no doubt that this team, if they continue with the play calling that Mike McCarthy has implemented right now, him and Dak, they're on a roll.
Real quick, man. 2 things. We talk about the Rico situation. They're using him well, but to me, why isn't Tony Pollard getting those outside runs that Rico's is getting every time he gets in the game? When Tony Pollard starts it off, what was his first 3 runs? Right up in the tackles. Soon as Rico gets, let's get him a toss sweep on the outside. I think those are the runs that TP needs. But I will say this real quick, and then you can get back to it. I disagree with McCarthy on this one. That defense didn't need this game. All right, like we talk about, we need this game to whatever confidence. But that defense did not need this game to happen to them like that. All right, because
the defense, he said the team.
The team. Well, the defense is part of that team.
I think he's specifically talking about the offense.
You ain't talking about the defense.
I think he's talking about the offense, and then you having the defense in the stands of, okay, we're not playing well, but we need to just come up with one stop. Like that is the most, because they haven't.
How does that help? I'm just saying, how does that help the defense though? Like,
well, I mean,
confidence wise, anything.
Because you've been in these games against these other winning teams to where when you needed a big time stop, you haven't been able to get it, and now you said, okay, all right. When we're playing against a quality team and things aren't going right, boom. Are we able to respond at some point to make sure that we can get the ball back to our offense and then get that momentum going on our side? And I think they did, because it was going. It wasn't good.
Oh, it wasn't good at all.
It wasn't good, and they did come up with a stop. And that's the same things teams like Philly and San Francisco. Philly don't hold teams under 10 points all the time. No. Sometimes they give up 35, but then they find a way to get a stop when they need one, and then Jalen Hurts goes in. And that's what Dak Prescott did last night.
And I just wanted to ask you, as far as Rico Dowdle is concerned, you being a defensive guy, your expectation of Rico Dowdle when he gets in the game is he's running in between the tackles. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I wouldn't say it's like I'm trying to outthink you, out-scheme you, be smarter than the other guy, but your expectation of Rico Dowdle is he's going to be a guy that's going to run in between the tackles, and you definitely don't expect for TP to be that guy to run in. But, the way that they're using him, the way that they're mixing these guys up, I don't have a problem with it.
My thing is just let the guy cook. Is my only thing. Like, this whole, 2 series on, 1 off. If he's tired, tap him out. We've seen him tap out a couple times. We bring in Rico. But if the man is ready to roll, man, let that dude eat, man.
I agree to the sense that, yes, I do want to see TP get some more of those outside runs. Mm-hmm. However, you have to mix it up. If you got to bring Rico in on second down sometimes just so you can
get up in there.
But I think Tony Pollard is at his best when he's able to try to capture the edge.
Yeah. So, Church, go back here, just looking at the drive chart. Mm-hmm. This is what Seattle did their first 5 possessions. Touchdown, missed field goal, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. So at this point in time, you're like, man, you need something. Then Bland comes up. So the next 5 drives, Bland comes up with the interception. Then it's a touchdown. Then it's downs, and downs. So your first 5, man, they're taking it to you. The last 5, they did what they needed to do. It's an old saying, you don't always have to play great, but you got to play great when you have to. When they had to have it, the defense came and they gave it to you. Wasn't perfect, sure. Dan Quinn will go in the lab, and these guys will have things they need to work on. You two have both played in the league and say, yeah, sometimes it ain't pretty. But you came out of there a win, and my man Uncle Wade once said, we ain't going to apologize for winning.
Yeah, never that.
We ain't going to apologize for winning. But when I just see right here, because I was like, man, they got to force a punt. No, by the way, no punts. No punts in this game. And instead of forcing the punt, Bland got the interception. So when I look at it from a defensive standpoint, yeah, you can moan and groan, but you know what, doggone, he got it done. Yeah, last week, Philadelphia, okay, they needed overtime against the Bills. Defense wasn't great necessarily, but when they needed to come up with something, they came up with something. And that for me is the interesting thing of how Eagle fans and people praise the Eagles for getting it done, and then the Cowboys get it done. It's like, well, they got it done.
I'll give them that. They got it done. You can never apologize for wins, like you said. But for me, it's like this was supposed to be the strength. Yeah. Like this was supposed to be your backbone of your team.
Okay. It still is.
What?
I do think it still is. I do think some of it is a case of the Thursday night football game.
3 games in 12 days.
I think some of it's a case of that. I don't think you are as good as you were that you thought you were going to be when you came into the season. I still think this is a top 5 defense. I don't know.
Is it still in Dan Quinn we trust, Barry? Are we getting away from that, Barry?
No, I mean, what you mean, Barry? Hold on.
Do we think that Cleveland is a good defense?
Yeah,
the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
They went out there and beat the Cleveland Browns, put 24 points on them. Yep. All right, this is not a bad offense. They had a bad stretch of games to where they lost 3 out of 4.
Man, the past 5 games they've only averaged 15
points.
That's
what I'm saying. They had a bad stretch, but
that's a stretch.
But you said it this week. They got DK Metcalf, they got Tyler Lockett. They have weapons, and they came in with them weapons, and they said, "Hey man, this is a do or die game."
Are you more worried about the secondary or that pass rush? Because that offensive line for the Seattle Seahawks. They were garbage. They were leaky the entire these past 5-6 games they've been leaky, giving up at least 3 sacks a game. Now when you look at it, Geno Smith, I don't even know if he was really touched except for that last possession when Parsons came through, and he had time in the world to find these 3 receivers. So are you more worried about the secondary getting torched like that, or is it the D-line not being able to get pressure on a weak offensive line?
Man, I mean, listen, Bland had a bad game. I can't sit here and say that Gilly had a bad game. I think Stephon Gilmore played a good football game. I think Bland it was different. Yeah. And I always go back to this. Bland is a second-year player, okay? We saw a little bit of it last week against Washington when we was like, hey, man, maybe a little off, so they have some time now to go figure out what's going on. Yeah. But I would be more worried about in that game, I'm like, well, where is the pass rush? Because we've been talking about Devontae pass rush for a long time, and they've and deserve it so. Yeah. But when we needed it in that game yesterday, when the secondary wasn't able to hold up as much, I'm expecting Micah Parsons and those guys to have 3-4 sacks on the Geno Smith, and it didn't happen.
And Geno Smith a couple of times came close to a grounding call, getting rid of the ball as the sack was coming. But, look, I think when you start doing the comparison between the way that Philadelphia won and the way that Dallas won, and last week's game versus the Bills, to your point, Nui, the Bills had 505 yards. And let's just even go to the Washington Commanders game. Washington Commanders game, they gave 450 yards. And I'm guessing it, but I know it's over 400 yards that they gave up to the Commanders. You're going to have a game, and to me, I just felt like they didn't hang their head. And I think that's the Al Harris effect on the secondary. There's been times where you've seen the camera pan to the sideline, and you see us. It was when we had Cheetah Bay or Woozier and guys like that. It'll pan to the sideline, everybody's heads down. These guys were not sulking. They weren't down. And even DeRon Bland, as a second-year pro, getting baked the way that y'all saw it. It was having a bad game, but you never saw him hold his head down. You never seen him look like he was discouraged. He came out there, and he actually, as they were picking on him, he got a pick. That adjustment that was made too, because they did switch sides. Yeah. In the second half, Gilly started traveling. In the second half, and that's a credit to Dan Quinn, right? Because you trust your players, right? And you don't want to be in that situation, but then you also have to have the nerve to be like, hey, you know what? Enough is enough, and we're going to figure out how to get this done. And Gilly went out there and did what he did what he's supposed to do. We said this last week. He's the better cover guy at this point in his career, and DeRon Bland is the better turnover guy. And I'm sure you guys can echo this. Like, a lot of people are not saying that how impactful he is. But how impactful is that to have a guy? I mean, DeRon Bland's getting all the credit because of the pick sixes, but Gilly went out the second half. We're talking about a guy that was having a historic first half. In the second half,
I think he only had maybe 2 catches.
And that's the effect of having a guy like Stephon Gilmore on your squad.
And good coaching, just what you said. All right, hey guys, we got to make an adjustment here, and it worked, and everybody did their job. So I go back, think about the team you played on, Jacksonville, that went to the AFC Championship game. You didn't play 16 great games on defense. You're going to have one. The year New England went 16-0, they had their first game.
What was that?
Oh, did they?
Y'all didn't have a game like that, huh? That's what you said.
Not one.
Ain't nobody threw for 300 on you 3 times? Nobody?
I mean, if you want to count some garbage yards, maybe. But no, I'm telling you, we did have a game or two.
And I say this all the time. People think it's college football out there. Ask somebody today, I didn't like the margin that they won by. They should have won by more. I'm like, I know what Vegas said. Vegas out here trying to take your money. Vegas has been taking your money. I'm like, it's the National Football League. The guys over there, good team. I was like, did you notice their receivers? They brought in 3 really good receivers. They made some plays. The other teams they get paid too.
Look at the Super Bowl last year. Yeah. Okay, Philly set a record for sacks. 55. Right? We go into that looking at that game and saying, okay, this is going to be a defensive game. There wasn't no defense out there. All right, it was about when you can make a stop or get a turnover, and they forced Jalen Hurts into a turnover situation, and they win the game. Sometimes you just have to be able to say, man, hey, whenever the opportunity comes, we gonna make the play. Now this was, it looked different, right? Because what we've been seeing for the last few weeks against the Giants and the Patriots, whoever, like we've been seeing a different type of football. And they came in and they tested us.
Man was out there doing sign language.
DK's a good receiver.
Good.
We are late on the break. Let's dive up into that here, and let's talk about some of the defensive numbers that we saw yesterday. We'll do that with Danny McCray, Heckman Harris, and Barry Church. I'm New Express Plays Line, brought to you by Tostitos right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. McCarthy.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of us magically transforming our smoothie bowls into 2 new decadent flavors. Dig into a cool acai or pitaya bowl, handcrafted with crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, fresh strawberries, and finished with a velvety chocolate hazelnut drizzle. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or anytime you want to munch. And that's the sound of you making them disappear. Smoothie bowls, now in 2 new decadent flavors. Only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
There is no I in Dallas. There is no I in Hart either. No I in Blue Star or in Lone Star for that matter. And there's no I in how about them Cowboys? Smirnoff knows there's no I in football. Football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks, home or away, we rally together, we cry together, and we always rally cry together because there's definitely no I in Cowboys fans. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Head to AT&T Stadium on Saturday, December the 9th to experience Rally Days presented by SeatGeek. Take a tour of AT&T Stadium, get autographs from Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and alumni, play games, head outside to Miller Lighthouse, and even play on the field. And don't forget to get your photo with Santa and Mrs. Claus. Visit attstadium.com/Rally Days for more tickets and more information.
Excellent, Heckma Harrison. Thank you very much. Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos and Players of Barry Church and Danny McCray. I'm merely Newey Scruggs. So, Heckman, you had a question for the former players. Hit it.
No, basically, when you're watching the game and you're watching a guy like Deron Bland man-to-man on DK Metcalf, and obviously he's close a lot in that first half, but we play a lot of man in a situation where guys like Wilson, Curse, they're man-to-man in situational tight ends and slots. And for you guys, it would have been easy, especially with the running game of Seattle not being that effective, to then go to 3 or 4, to then say, hey, man, we're going to get some help on the back end, because I wasn't as worried about Charbonnet, whatever the man's name is. 19 carries for 60 yards. I didn't have that same worry when I was watching their running game, because we know that's something we've been worried about in the past, is people just taking the middle of the field and running the ball on us. I didn't see that. So to a certain degree, I was saying to myself, and I put in the group text, nobody answered, but I was just basically saying, how do you say in man, this long, or when do you ever adjust it?
It was, listen, the response would be too long to put in that message. I go back to, I want to say.
Boy, you can do the
No, I'm good. That's why you do a podcast.
That's how they do me. That's how they do me. You know what I mean?
That's how y'all do, man.
I want to say, it may have been 2013, maybe Rob Ryan's second year. I don't know. We were having a hard time not getting turnovers, right? And we were a man team. We were running a lot of man, some zone fire dogs, but we were a man team. And since we weren't getting turnovers, everybody was like, hey, we need to find a way to get our eyes on the quarterback. Let's all of a sudden start to run cover 3 and cover 2. Let's try to teach it so everybody could be on the same page in the middle of the season. And we went out there and got smoked over and over and over again, because that's not the type of team we were. And you have to, rep that type of stuff. Zone drops, where to be in cover 2, where to be in cover 3. You know it in your mind, but you have to be able to really be able to go out there and understand what's going on and just switch your type of defensive concept. Man, middle of the year. You remember we wasn't getting turnovers. That was a whole big thing. That's when the whole Byron Jones thing started. He ain't get turnovers. We need a
that was the last 8 years.
We got B Carr. B Carr came $50 million. We gonna get some turnovers.
And the head coach let it happen.
See, listen. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is it's a difficult thing to do go from being a man team where you're predominantly man to then switch to being a zone team, especially in that type of situation where you're down or the game is close. You go out there and get chopped. up now.
My worry was I'm sitting there watching DeRon Bland. I'm like, man, this man done all this good stuff. Now they finna mess with this man's confidence. Like he out here, his confidence got to be
man
shot.
up sometime now.
I'm just saying, you've watched people's confidence torpedo on the field when they getting baked like that.
Yeah, I'd have seen it, and that was one of the worst as far as like just repeatedly going at somebody. I've never seen it like that before, and we played a long time where Cats was taking turns, man. Like DK Metcalf, you gonna line up in the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna hit you with a da-da-da. And I'm down the yard, 50 yards. And then, you think, all right, Metcalf's not on him. All right, I got a chance to relax a little bit.
Jackson Smith.
Here comes in Jigba out here hitting you with the 1-2. Lockett got some. So, I mean, it was one of the toughest nights, but he did respond with that interception out there. And you said he didn't, like, hang his head down there and just say, take me out of the game type deal. Like my man from Buffalo. Remember that a couple years back?
Hey.
I quit.
First of all, he quit.
He quit.
Bro,
He quit. What are you talking about? He quit.
I'm done. I can't do it no more. So you didn't see that out of the blame, but
that's
that was rough. That was rough.
I know you said this is the worst, but last week it was the same thing, bro. They came into the game and they said we're going at 26. So that was McLaurin and all the rest of the guys. They were like, hey, like when he's on me, throw the ball. And they threw it too many times. And he ended up getting a pick six, but like. That's going to be the rest of the season for him because you see what's happening when 21's on guys. Like, they're not getting open and he's making plays on the ball. 26 is the guy. 26 and 2, but right now, 26, they're going to take shots.
That hell of a game.
And it happens all the time in the league. When you see guys, they're getting hit up on a little bit of a pedestal around the league, and cats will be like, man, he ain't that good. I swear he ain't that good. Let him line up on me. I swear I'm a cookie. And that's what happened. They say, you know what, this guy's getting this, defensive player of the year votes. Let's go out there and really see if he's like that. And they
kind of put that on the back burner a little bit.
Yeah, they say, let's get them odds a little bit in the other favor.
A couple more pick sixes, he'd be back in the conversation. One thing about the corner position, they know you do for a bad game. Yeah.
Seattle, 35 points in the game, 406 yards of total offense. 334 of those yards came through the air. And on third down, they were hitting on a 64% conversion rate.
That's bad numbers.
They were getting it done. They were 0 for 4 on fourth down.
Yeah.
So they have some crucial ones in the game that they could not get done. The Cowboys were able to stop them there. And by the way, we must mention the penalties. Combined, 19 penalties for 257 yards. The Cowboys had 9 for 127 against them in that game.
It was every snap at one point.
I mean, they was calling some ticky-tack on both sides. Yeah. Like, you get a hand on the hip or something, and they calling it. I mean, those are the type of games that'll annoy you. But when you talk about, was it 19 penalties? 19 penalties, man. Yeah, that's
257 yards.
Yeah, that's like a record or something.
Do they have a meeting before when you know that a physical team is coming in? Because Richard Sherman and them used to get away with stuff like that all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, they're a physical team. I assume the refs know that it's about to be a physical game. So the hand checking and stuff, you got to let some of that stuff go. Like, let them play, especially when it's out of hand like that. Like, bro, it was back to back to back to back to where the play ran, and you just start looking at the bottom of the screen to see if it was a flag.
So how many? And it's just me because I'm just my eyeballs. I didn't play. It seemed like they were calling it both sides, and so if you got a shoulder, like one time when it was on Dick, they called it. Which is what you're supposed. Herb Street was like, no, he just touched his shoulder. Like, dude, he didn't touch his shoulder.
That was a bad one on Herb Street for him to say that didn't affect him from catching the ball when he was trying to dive to get it. We're just saying that, like, at some point when it's a physical game or a game like that, you got to let the guys play. If it's something that's egregious to where he tackling you or something like that, I understand that. But if it's some hand check, illegal contact, he hit 7 yards instead of 5. Like, you get to a point in the game where it's like, all right, bro. All right, let's play ball.
Then let me ask you this:
like the Eagles, all they do is touch.
Well, then,
but when you're a team, don't make me.
That's gonna stay right with me.
Am I lying?
No, you're not. But I want to say this for CD. CD was putting it on the clinic, like Woolen and those guys. We came in thinking that
good too.
These are great guys. I mean, this is great young guys that's gonna be in the league for a while. But it just showed you CD Lamb and where he is and his route running, the way that Dak was able to find him and he was able to get those flags. Man, how many passes did CD lead? I mean, he could have had one of those games that you was like, yo.
Well, that one through the hands.
Oh, brother.
That's a tough catch because you got people all around you, but that's one. You
gotta have it.
At what point are you let pride go aside and you just say straight up, let's double team this guy? Like, just gotta be a point. You saw it with Dan Quinn. Look, My boy Bland is getting cooked out here. Hey, pride aside, Gilly, you traveling from now on.
That's the same question I'm asking about staying in man. Like you getting killed. What are you doing?
Well, you just said Mike McCarthy's doing a good job of being creative and moving CD around, and then also having Brandon Cooks be a guy that all of a sudden he's alive, and you like, all right, well, I mean, pick your poison at this point. And then Brandon Cooks started off the game where you're like, okay, here we go.
See, Cooks gonna have to beat me. Like, Cooks, Tolbert, Gallup, they gonna have to beat because I'm putting whoever CD is on, you got to double team over top of you. I don't care where he is, you got to double team. They gonna have to beat me on the other end.
But then he beat them on slants, beat them on like they had 3 guys on him on the seam route, and he still and if he catches like it's a perfect ball and he still can catch, and you got 3 guys on him. So it's like sometimes you just in that zone, the Justin Jefferson zone, you know, guys like that. All of a sudden, where it's like, all right, they understand the game and they understand what they're doing, and now they're excelling at it. That's where CD Lamb is at. So that at 1,300. Over. All
right.
Over.
Let's get a break. Anybody want to talk about Michael Gallup when we come back here?
Nah, man. Nah, we good. MG good.
Yeah, he had some targets yesterday.
He had one.
He was out there.
Yeah, he got enough.
Yes.
That's right.
Curse was out there too.
Out there like I was out there.
Told you Curse was out there. Y'all saw Curse?
Hey, we gotta make picks. We gotta make our
first of all, he said you the one who said he wasn't out there. Why y'all put this on me?
I didn't know. I said I didn't know.
You said you didn't realize that he wasn't out there.
Who, Curse?
He said that.
Yeah, I seen Curse out there.
No, last week.
Last week.
So
last week.
He's like, and now it's on me. Like you said
I
it.
pointed at both of y'all. I said pointed at both of y'all. Recognize the number one.
And then he tried to hype it up.
We're going to break.
Said he don't know. He said, man, I don't know. Curse went out there. I can't even tell he was out
Noah
there.
Fat was striking on that over though. Noah Fat was rolling. I ain't gonna lie. He was rolling.
Going to break right here. Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos on
Boy got beat by
DallasCowboys.com
offensive lineman, man. I can't believe it.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of us magically transforming our smoothie bowls into 2 new decadent flavors. Dig into a cool acai or pitaya bowl, handcrafted with crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, fresh strawberries, and finished with a velvety chocolate hazelnut drizzle. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or anytime you want to munch. And that's the sound of you making them disappear. Smoothie bowls, now in 2 new decadent flavors. Only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Sean Polite is your 2023 Cowboys Fan of the Year, and now he needs your help. Vote for Sean to be given the ultimate title of NFL Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan, by casting your vote at NFL.com/Fan of the Year.
All right, Heckman Harrison, appreciate you in the Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos. You got Barry Church and Danny McCray. I'm Newey Scruggs. By the way, as I was going through some notes last night, I went back here and it was August 31st, 2023, when we got some of these Barry Church declarations.
Isms.
Yes.
Call them isms.
And I wrote it down. Justin Herbert, MVP, top 5 candidate.
It ain't gonna happen.
It's December 1st now. We can go ahead and, that's not happening.
It ain't happening, dog.
New York Giants will make the playoffs.
Ooh, shit. Or stuff, my bad.
Kellen Moore, top 5 offense.
Where they at offensively? Hold on. Wait, they still got a chance, though.
11.
They still got a chance.
That book got hell in it, man.
I'm telling you, man.
They got receipts.
Burn that thing right now.
Receipts.
The L.A. Chargers will make the playoff. Will win a playoff game. My bad. I said will win a playoff game.
We took a major fall, man.
And then Chargers against Dallas on Monday night. He was like, I'm undecided.
Man, why that man make it like that, bro?
Do you have a bet in there? I feel like you made a bet with somebody about something.
And the last one, Danny Dimes.
Yeah. Most improved.
I was over. All right, it happens to the best of us, man. I was over.
August that was in the notes.
You went down with the team. It's okay.
It's over, man.
Hey, you got to nail one of these right.
Hey, man, just invite me to the West Coast, man. That is a little vacation out there, man.
So, checking the book here, Michael Gallup. Man. Rough night for MG, man.
It's been said repeatedly, okay, that the separation just it's not there. It's not there. And you take a chance when you throw him any ball that's not deep. All right, you take a chance when you throw him an out route, a slant route, or it is man-to-man. You're taking a chance because just like we know, the other team that's playing know that the separation is just not there. And now you got Brandon Cooks as a deep threat, CeeDee Lamb as a deep threat. So now that position that he used to play is, it's kind of Jalen Tolbert, a deep threat.
Tolbert had one catch in the game for
clutch
17
big
yards.
time catch too.
You had
He got pass interference too, did he?
No.
Who was that down the sideline?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. That's right.
Yeah, he did against Woolen. Yeah, against Woolen. Yeah.
Yes, he did. Turpin with 3 targets and 1 catch.
Yeah, 2 bad drops.
He did.
And then you got Gallup with 1 target and not credited with a catch here in the game.
That's all right. I believe in you, dog. I believe in you, dog. It's going to continue this way. CD is going to continue on this track. Jake Ferguson is going to have the year that he's having, and this guy's going to have an opportunity to make up for him.
You say you believe in Gallup?
I believe in him. I ain't going to Brandon Cooks him like I did at the beginning. I ain't going to do that.
I know, because you'll be a fool to do that, because what I see on Brandon Cooks is 4 for 4 and a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
I opened up the show.
Throw the man the ball.
Danny, I opened up with saying how Brandon Cooks ball. I did that.
If you throw the man, he mistaken. But if you throw Brandon Cooks the ball, what we've seen in the last 4 weeks is that he's productive.
He is.
So we giving Gallup a pass?
I'm not giving him a pass.
I'm giving him a pass. I'd say exactly what he should. He should be 3rd, 4th, or 5th in targets. And right now, he down there with the ones. That's okay, because you got CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, and Brandon Cooks, and Tony Pollard, and then Dak Prescott doing what he's doing. So shout out to them.
Yes, Dak Prescott getting it done.
Is he the highest paid receiver on his roster? Huh?
Is he?
God, that's bad.
For now.
He's the highest paid on his roster.
For now, that's about to get blown out the water, though.
Man.
Cowboys 41, Seattle 35. Up next, the Philadelphia Eagles. So the Eagles with a big game this weekend.
Other boys.
So Chris Bean, let's go ahead and get our picks.
Other boys.
Everybody won last night in the picks here. Everybody took Dallas. Danny, you had the Cowboys winning by 11. Heck, you had the Cowboys winning by 11. Church, you had the Cowboys winning by 3. I had the Cowboys winning by 7. Cowboys ended up winning by 6. The line was 9.5. So, Beam, obviously, we've got Philadelphia and San Francisco.
You want to do that one right off the top?
You know what? Might as well go ahead and
knock it out.
That's what we all care about.
He's been waiting to pick against Philly.
What you got, man? What you got?
Give me the.
San Francisco at Philly. Let's go.
Other
Why me, bro? Why me? This man pick Philly every time I pick Philly.
What you talking about?
Niners 32.
What you talking about?
You got Niners 32.
32.
Okay. In Philly.
26.
You got them. You got the Niners.
32 in Philly. 32-26. Yeah. What you got, Heck? What you got?
But you
want me to go? I'll take it.
I'll
take it. Give me Philly in this one. 28-24. Yeah.
Give me Philly. Taking Philly in this one. I need y'all to feel like they walk on water when they come in here next Sunday. I need them to.
But if
level.
they lose, it's a game for the division.
No. They're gonna win.
It's perplexing.
Yeah, it's not perplexing. I got Philly. It's gonna be close. Philly by 2. So give me 28-26.
The other boys for real this year.
It's your time to pick. It's your time to pick. That's why I'm looking at you.
Listen. I am going. They're in the link, ain't they?
It's in the link. It's in the link, man.
I'm going with Philly.
There it is.
All right, and they're going to win by 3, 27-24.
Okay.
Be a tight game. Defense will show up.
At the link.
Uh-huh.
I'm the solo
I need him
dog.
walking on water.
Lone
You
wolf.
on the
Something
island,
else,
man.
man. You
Lone
something. All right, Bean, what else we got?
We got Denver at Houston. That's right. Denver, I think, has won 5 in a row.
This is for the wild card. Like, I think if you win this,
Well, Houston-
they in charge of the wild card spot, right? I think so.
What you
Are
got?
you
What
in
you
there?
got, BC? What you
All
got?
right, well, give me it's in Houston.
Yeah.
In Houston. Man, that boy Stroud cold, man. Give me Stroud in this one. So give me the Texans 28-21.
What was the spread again? What'd you say the spread was on this game?
I don't have it
Don't
on.
know? Okay. Man, after watching Houston last week and Tank Dell, boy, that boy cold. Yeah, I like them a lot. I'm going to go with Houston in this one. Oh, man.
It's
3.
Houston got 3.
2017.
Man, look, can I switch up? I forgot Denver got that defense, man. Denver got a defense.
They do.
They got a good defense. I think they're going to, yeah, give me Denver. Give me Denver 24-21.
Man,
switch that thing up.
You switching up.
Yeah, I forgot
man,
Denver got
might have
that
broke your own
defense.
juju.
Yeah, I mean, Denver got
you
that
might
defense,
have broke
man.
your own juju right there,
Switch
dude.
that one up.
Yeah, I'm going H-Town, man. I think the streak is over. Okay, I think the streak is over. I think H-Town need to bounce back after the game they had last week. So I'm going Houston.
Great city of Houston.
31-28.
31-20. Oh. Denver putting up 2-8 on them.
Yeah, they struggled last week. They struggled last week.
Houston 19-17 winners. Gonna go with that. All right, Bean, what's next?
By the way, Danny went 5-1 last week. His
No
only
way. No way. No way. No way. No, are you serious?
Let's go to
only loss is because he went with Houston against Jackson.
I know.
Who went 5-1 last week?
And 4-2 the week before. Thank you, CB.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
He's on fire.
Man, you ain't allowed to, you ain't allowed to bet, man.
At this point, don't take me to Vegas.
No, just follow his picks, except when he picks Houston.
I know
We got
that.
Atlanta at the New York Jets.
Goodness gracious.
Who'd you say?
Atlanta Jets.
Atlanta at the Jets.
At the Jets.
I do not think
Atlanta's a
Aaron
2-point
Rodgers
favorite.
is going to play.
Man, ain't no way.
Which is absolutely crazy that he's back and doing functional football activities.
That's crazy. The fact that he can jog around is ridiculous, man.
Y'all pick it.
Who's that? Atlanta Jets?
I go first as I'm picking Atlanta. I don't think the Jets have anything. 20-7.
Wasting
20,
such a good
actually
defense,
20-10.
You going with Atlanta?
I'm going with ATL.
Well, you went 5-1 last week. I'm going with you. I'm gonna go 18. I'm going with you. I'm gonna go 17-13.
I'll take Atlanta 16-14.
Yeah, go ahead and give me Atlanta as well, man. 20-13.
All right, Chris, what's next?
That means the Jets are probably going to win that game.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Thank you.
Cleveland travels to L.A. to take on the Rams.
Joe Flacco might play.
I got the Rams defense, so I hope we do.
What you got, Noah?
Give me the Rams to win this one. I need a major game from Cooper Kupp.
Well, need that fantasy, but
30-16. Oh.
Now, give me LA in this one. Let me get LA 24-10.
Garrett has an elbow.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Rams here too. I'm gonna go with the Rams 24-20.
I'm going to Rams 23-13. DTR,
We
Joe
all
Flacco
on the
can't get it
Rams.
done.
This is not good.
All right. I got one more for if you guys want it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got the L.A. Chargers is traveling to New England.
I'm sure Church won it. Go ahead, Church.
I don't even want this, man.
I have to get a game at least when you guys are not going to all pick the same.
Yeah.
I think we all gonna pick the same thing.
Man. I don't even want to do it,
Cold.
man.
It's going to be cold up in.
I don't even want to do it, but give me the Chargers, man. They got to
They
win this
they got
one,
5.5. So
They
yeah.
got to win this.
They got 5.5?
one, dog.
5.5.
They got to, man. Give me the Chargers. 27-14.
And Kellum, we trust. I'm
Come
going
on,
with the
man.
Chargers
They
too,
got
man. I'm
to.
going with the Chargers. I'm gonna go. Man, that defense is not playing. You know what? 2014.
Sorry, CB. I'm going 20-17 with the Chargers too.
We gotta get
They
it
stinking up the
done,
joint
man.
up
Come
there.
on,
No,
man. You gotta get
No,
it done.
are you gonna break this or what?
Bailey Zappi, man. Bailey Zappi.
It's going to be the end of the road of Brandon Staley this week.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, wow. So are you doing that?
20-19.
There it is.
Bill
There
Belichick.
it is.
Bill Belichick. It's going to be the end of Mr. Staley.
Belichick coming out west. That's
Interim
what they
coach
say.
Kellen Moore taking over.
Before we leave, since we have been talking about defensive player of the year, all that stuff, Dak Prescott.
MVP consideration?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I was talking about C.J. Stroud in there. If I said he's got to be in there based off how he was playing,
Dak got to.
Then Dak Prescott is working his way into MVP. The front runner, if all of a sudden he can figure out a way to play that.
Look at the Lord working on you. I ain't have to booby trap you with that.
We can say it.
We
can say it, and next week.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Next week is going to be, the
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot of flip flopping.
be the true test. I mean, it was always talk about Deron Bland, and then there was a picture of a Pro Football Talk had a balloon that said Deron Bland and the
yeah.
So yes, the conversation will be there, but we know you need it against Philadelphia. Do this against Philadelphia, and this December, he's got the opportunity to go ahead and get it done.
I can't wait.
Who got the opportunity to get
Miami, Buffalo, Dak.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Deron Bland.
Detroit. I mean, you look.
I thought you said Bland about to go ahead. I'm like, oh, man.
And remember, Dak played well against Philly last time.
He did.
So,
that's why I say you stack it.
Yeah.
You stack it. These games right here, and there's something I don't know if he and McCarthy will talk about. But these games right here they got coming up in December, he can go ahead and win that damn.
Oh, for sure.
You can go ahead and win that thing
sure.
with the competition that's there and the eyeballs that are going to be there and the way this race is going. He can pretty much solidify himself right here. He really can. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, fun day. Everybody enjoy your football weekend. Enjoy Sunday. By the way, shout out to our guy, Kyle Yeomans, who filled in for Brad Sham. I got chills listening to him. And heck, man, you've worked with Kyle for a number of years here. So obviously you like a proud brother watching him do it. Mm-hmm. But that was some stuff, man. That is not an easy thing to do. This is not just a regular broadcast. It's an international broadcast. It's on Sirius. I mean, everybody checks out the Cowboys on Armed Forces Radio, all that, man. What that man did was sensational.
It's called When Opportunity Meets Preparation. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
and that's
sir.
what you saw. And he got that on, 20 minutes notice?
20 minutes before.
20 minutes notice, and he was ready. That's my man. KY, no jelly,
Shout out
baby.
to
Let's
Kyle,
go.
man.
No, that was good
thing.
stuff, man. That's good stuff. So we'll make sure we acknowledge one of our own here, something he did. So, all right, everybody have a fantastic football weekend. We'll check you out Monday. For Danny McCray, Heckman Harrison, Barry Church, I'm Newey Scruggs. Goodbye.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!